So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Well, it's going out.
Yes, hello, welcome to the club. It's me again, Mars. I'm finally off the train. Glad to be back for the Upper 90 Club podcast, a roundtable podcast where our friends talk about the Columbus Crew. On this episode, we've got Mort, Trey, and Haas. Say, what up?
What up?
Nice, you did it. You did it. And Ben's not here, so
Tip on the hat!
thank you. Nice. He's not feeling well.
Tip of the head.
Oh, feeling well. Oh, poor Ben.
He's not hell as well. Anyway, guys, we are coming off a 1-1 draw to at Seattle from yesterday was Sunday on our second Sunday special game in a row.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that. We've got plenty to discuss with thoughts and players, reading the internet. I think we've probably got a Crew 2 update from the Bird. And we'll do a makeup session for the rundown from last week because you guys couldn't figure the Strava out.
No one ran.
And then
nobody called your name.
We'll review our predict picks for this Hell is Wheel game that's coming up. Is it? It's got to be away, right? It's away. It's in Cincinnati.
Correct.
Tickle.
On the 12th, this Saturday. Back to the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we'll probably be back to Sunday recording. Yes. So, glad to not be on a train right now. That was tough. I was sad to kind of drop out last week. I rode the train much last week, and I don't typically do that. My takeaway from the train is there are many smells in the world, and they're all on the train. It's an easier way to get into a large metropolitan area, but you cannot control what the smell is. So that's my takeaway, and glad to be back in this office that smells great in here, guys. So, no one went to the Seattle game, but we did have we had our nation's 249th birthday this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but our family reached peak freedom this weekend. Complete.
Did you sell the kids?
No.
Beach?
Okay.
We did. We did.
Nude beach.
We went.
Nice.
Yep. We went to the beach.
Okay.
We lit off some grocery store fireworks. No injuries to report. So
snakes and sparklers.
It was snakes and sparklers is all they like. So
do any Roman candles?
Joe Dirt.
Any
whiskey. Husker do's, Husker don'ts.
Husker don'ts?
You guys, if you haven't seen Joe Dirt,
what's wrong with you?
You're missing out.
Go see it.
Or you're very young.
America's finest.
Go see it. See it twice. Dennis Miller makes a great radio host in that show. Anyway, okay, so that was my story. What else you guys got? How was your weekend?
It was good. I hung out with some family, watched neighbors shoot off fireworks, grilled out. It's a good time.
And Haas, last weekend you were at the CINCI show. Where was? Oh, that was at Natalie's Pizza?
At Natalie's in Grandview, correct.
Okay. All right. And so the show was good.
They sounded amazing. I've never been to a concert in that venue. I've been to, they have like a stage out in the restaurant area and then a stage in the back that's like more music focused with its own little bar back there. Sounded great in the room. CINCI, I don't think they've ever not sounded good.
What happens on the
Put on a
stage
great show.
that less music focused? Is it like stand up or?
No, they do like jazz shows. It's like it's a seated show.
Okay, so
It's spoken
not,
jazz.
Yeah, spoken jazz.
Spoken jazz.
Yeah, okay.
Not music.
I'm sure they do
Not
some.
music. I mean,
And music.
I was just wondering what less music focused meant.
Seated at tables
Seated.
being served by waiters.
So my kind of music.
Keep it down. Keep it down. I'm trying to listen to music.
Can't hear the notes.
You're not focused on the music enough. I was supposed to go see him yesterday, and he was playing at Navy Pier yesterday, and he's playing in Milwaukee tonight at something called Summerfest. But
Milwaukee.
it rained. It was like torrential downpour yesterday afternoon, and I had to just make a game time decision. I had all the kids with me. I was like, I can't make it, man. I'm sorry. So I bailed. But
You just bailed all the way around, didn't you?
I did. I sure did. Mort, what about you, man?
Well,
You celebrate the 4th of July, don't you?
I do celebrate this, and I walk around and I have a
America.
full-on American accent all day.
Yeah,
Just
American
to, like,
Oz.
Yeah, American Oz
Uh-huh.
all day. No, it was the regular thing. We're making so many stops, hanging out with neighbors, going to dinner with friends, going to the Westerville fireworks, which is a huge craziness right now. It's grown too big. And then over to some other friends afterwards, and having the kids up way too long. So we're still recovering.
Is
from
the
this weekend.
Westerville, do they hire like a huge act if it was 1997 kind of thing like Dublin does, or?
Yes, I bet the bands, if there were, I didn't make it all the way down to the main stage by the main performances, but I bet there were bands that were semi-huge in 1997.
Like Babyface,
Something like
or
that.
like, you know,
Uncle Cracker or something.
yeah, I'm just trying to like push it ahead, because when we were going to Dublin, it was like Boys to Men. We saw, going back, this was an awesome concert in 2015. It was John Fogerty, Creedence Clearwater Revival. That was an awesome show.
Did you see who it was this year in Dublin?
No.
Kansas.
Okay. Yeah.
And 38 Special.
I don't know that one.
You know
38 Special.
You know a couple songs at least.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I can't
100%.
think of the famous one.
Is it one of the bands that has like the dad voice, like Pearl Jam and Rob Thomas? And
No.
They're
like
old
70s.
like Kansas.
oh,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
older. Okay, I just don't. Yeah, okay. Maybe I know the songs. I don't know this. I don't know the name.
LTDN and Lee Gant. I don't know. And probably Lieutenant Dan. I was just guessing.
I saw at Dublin one year Pat Benatar.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they do it up. Okay, and Trey.
Me. I, again, went over to my shirtless neighbor's house, and it was spectacular. He does a great job every year.
With his body, or what?
It's a collection of bodies, really.
Is like a,
It's
So you were at the nude beach.
is that like
multiple people. I had to join in this year, so I went to Kroger and I saw these very patriotic Pabst Blue Ribbon swim trunks, and I was like, "This is going to get me noticed. Like this will do it." 2 steps into the party, and he goes, "Dude, nice shorts," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what." Okay.
And he has the same shorts.
No, he wears the same thing every year. It's like a bald eagle cut off with a USA bandana and some.
It's like a
stars and
Buffalo
stripes.
Bob situation. We put the lotion on the skin, kind of.
I mean, if you're adding like 25, middle-aged men sitting around under a canopy drinking beer, sweaty.
okay,
Yeah,
Painting
you
a
know.
great
But-
picture.
But
yeah, Any
His-
pyrotechnics?
his pyrotechnics are phenomenal.
Ooh.
We're talking 20 minutes straight of they set up 3 tables. This year was great. Only one mortar tipped over. And it was at the very beginning, so it shot and hit somebody. Not one of the people watching. It was one of the people setting them off. And then one of the guys setting something off thought a box was done, so he threw the box in the bonfire next to the fireworks.
Oh no!
Oh yeah,
Sounds like a bunch of winners.
oh dude, it was phenomenal. So like it's going off, and then the neighbors next to the shirtless neighbor started setting off fireworks, and then the neighbors next to those neighbors started setting off fireworks. So you had like,
where were the geese during all of this?
in Canada.
This is
So it was a very American time that was very enjoyable, and nobody was seriously injured. Much fun was had by all.
Yeah, I bet there was a lot of gustbusters and crap flappers and whistling bungholes and
You name it. I mean, like I said, 20
screen
minutes.
splitters,
20 minutes.
whisker biscuits.
It was probably lots of whiskers on those biscuits.
Husker do's, Husker don'ts, with or without the swizzle stick.
So everybody survived. And yeah, it was a good time. Good time over at the neighbor's house.
Awesome.
Sure.
Awesome. The one thing I did was we lit off a smoke grenade, and I told the kids that they couldn't, if they were going to throw the smoke grenade, they had to say fire in the hole. they don't know. So I had a bunch of, under 10-year-old kids fire in the hole and throwing smoke grenades into the street.
I think
Lightning bolt.
I think my favorite thing of this weekend was the fact that you had all of that on Friday. We kind of had a recovery and some neighbor cookout thing on Saturday, but on Sunday, it's really just relaxing all day and waiting for the back-to-back games at night, which was really
Right,
nice.
so,
Nothing else going on.
They had the
Yep.
U.S. kind of coincided with the end of the Crew game. We may talk a little U.S. later, but let's start and jump into the game against Seattle.
Hey, what happened?
Facts that could save your life.
This game marked the 21st time the Crew and Seattle have met, with Seattle leading the all-time series with a 10-win, 6-loss, and 5-draw advantage in all competitions. Yesterday, July 6, 2025, at Lumen Field in the Queen City of the Northwest, the Crew faced off against the Sounders of Seattle in front of a reported 30,552 fans.
Hold on. What's
Did
the
it
Queen
sound
City?
wrong? Oh, yeah. Queen City. I know. It sounds wrong, doesn't it?
It does.
It does.
What's
Isn't it like the Emerald City or something?
No, it's one of their nicknames is Queen City.
But isn't the Queen City like typically the second largest city in a region? Is it like Vancouver? Like
It
what
was
would
like-
the King
the
City?
King City
Is
be?
that what they call it?
I just go by what I read. So
You Swiss cow that?
I did.
All
multiple places. So the Crew faced off against the Sounders in front of a reported 30,552 fans. Statistically, the Crew led in possession with a 57 to 43% advantage. Total shots on target, accurate passes, shots outside the box, and touches in the opponent's box. The Sounders were able to grab the advantage in 4 of the 5 XG categories and led in XG overall with a 1.68 to 0.84 advantage. Fun fact, this was the 4th team from a Queen City, and next week will make the 5th Queen City team the Crew has faced this season. But as we all know, Columbus is still the hardest working city in America. Hawes, hit us with those lineups.
The Crew started with Russell Rowe and Rossi up top, with Gazdag behind them, Aliou, Nagby, Chambeau, and Farsi across the middle, Chaberko, Zawadzki, and Morera in the back, Bush in goal, and the one note I had from the bench was no Herrera.
Which was interesting.
Didn't hear anything about why that was, if it had to do with the negotiations going on with him currently, or not.
I'm wondering if it was just a travel thing. I mean, heading 2,600 miles across the country. But, all right. 27th minute, Hawes.
Goal for Rossi. Zawadzki stands with the ball in the back line, waiting for Seattle to bite. He drops a pass to the right to Morera. He finds Nagby in the back line, who gives it right back to him. Morera passes to Gazdag as he is dropping back to give him an option, and he gives it back to Nagby with his first touch. Nagby takes a few touches forward and passes to Russell Rowe in the center circle, who quickly turns and plays a through ball between the Seattle back line to a streaking alley-oop down the left side. He gets on the ball, slows down just inside of the box, and plays a sneaky ball on the ground across the box to Rossi, who places the ball in the net, past Fry with his right foot, 0-1 Crew, and Rossi makes a fantastic run to stay in this play and be open behind the last defender.
Beautiful.
Yep. I think Mort thinks it's beautiful too, but
Yeah, Rossi started from behind the mid circle and kind of ran all the way and sprinted all the way in there to be that. It looked really casual at the end. Between the last two passes, it made it look very, very simple.
Was this just a defensive donkey move? Like they looked that it was so good. The passes were just so good. I'm not putting the team down. It was like, where is Seattle's defense? So we just like walked right through them.
Was it Gazdag in the middle that pulled two defenders and Rossi was able to sneak in the backside? I think it was Gazdag. Someone pulled two defenders.
But I think
to the more towards the near. Yes,
the ball from Aliu was also, with it being a little bit off pace. I think Jackson Reagan was expecting it to come past him closer to the goal, and instead it came near, closer to him, and it just caught him off guard. I mean, it was an off pace.
He split Roldan and Reagan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Instead of splitting Fry and Reagan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So we move 16 minutes forward to the 43rd minute. Haas, what happened?
Goal for Rothrock. Seattle bring the ball out of the back down the right side to Alex Roldan, who chips a pass forward down the right side of the field towards Rienzi, who awkwardly gets the ball just before Chaberko gets to it, and then continues to dribble forward towards the middle of the field. Zawadzki and Moreira both move to defend Rusnak as Nagby is tracking back but can't get to the ball. Rienzi spots Rothrock on the backside where Farsi has given him far too much space. Rienzi plays the ball through into the box where Rothrock shoots with his left foot on his first touch towards the near post and in. Really bad defending from Farsi. 1-1.
There's multiple things there. Chaberko got to win the first ball. There's no doubt about it. The ball is coming towards him. He needs to be first in the ball. Second one is Farsi doesn't follow his man. And the third one is actually Nagby. In that situation, you take the yellow card because we're so on the heel, and he does one of those where he kind of withdraws himself, almost like that.
He didn't want to touch him.
He didn't want to touch him, and he should have. I mean, you can say he didn't know that it was that open. Hindsight, but I feel like he probably should have taken that free kick.
Zawadzki was kind of caught in the middle between no one, and then him and Moreira both went to the same guy. Farsi, he even noticed Rothrock open and continued to stay 5-10 yards away from him until it was too late. It's like he was trying to have an offensive break when Seattle had the ball.
All right. Well, this one takes us into halftime with the score tied at 1. Coming at halftime, in the 46th minute, Seattle's Jackson Reagan earns a yellow card for the hip and shoulder tug on Russell Rowe as he tried to break away. 71st minute, Seattle's Christian Roldan earns the yellow for the reckless assault on Rossi. And then in the 71st, you also saw the first sub of the game as Morton's favorite player, Jordan Morris, enters the game. Beautiful blonde hair, crappy tattoos. 78th minute, Mo Farsi earned the yellow card for delaying the game, even though the Crew were attempting to sub an injured player and had a player at midline ready to come in.
Yeah, there was some strange calls out there, man.
All right, so 2 minutes later, kind of 80th minute, Crew with the double sub as Sadic comes in for Shambo and AZ comes in for Russell Rowe. Seattle took advantage of the time and also brought in De La Vega and Rusnak. Pardon me. And brought on De La Vega for Rusnak and Kent for the goal scorer Rothrock. 85th minute, Moreira is given a yellow card for the tug from behind on the Seattle player. 87th minute, Seattle's given a yellow card to Rienzi for takedown of AZ as he was splitting two Seattle players. 90th minute, we saw Tristan Brown come on, which was good to see him get some extra minutes. 90+2, Rienzi gets a second yellow as AZ for Columbus touches the ball over around him right before contact, and Rienzi makes no attempt to play the ball and knocks AZ to the ground. This being his second yellow meant Seattle was going to play a man down for the remaining 5 minutes.
Because
Which
we
I
were,
thought was-
we were +7, right?
+7.
Yep.
90+6, Diego Rossi is shown a yellow card for his poorly timed tackle on Tolo. And if you're counting, I believe that is 5 yellow cards in 21 minutes from the petty man in pink, who seemed to lose control of this match at the end. And then the most important thing probably from this game, in 90+7, Columbus is awarded a free kick just outside the Sounders box. Diego takes the kick, places it curling into the 6-yard area. It's cleared out of play over the Sounders goal.
By Seattle.
Unfortunately, as Stefan Fry comes out to make a play on the ball, he collides with the knee of Sadic, and it's quickly apparent that he is not in a good place. The game is stopped for the injury, and as Thor's ugly twin brother was warming up, the right decision was made with the persuasion of Nancy and Schmetzer, and the game is called, ending at 1-1. Columbus will be away again next week, July 12th at 7:30 p.m. in the Queen City of Cincinnati for the second leg of the Hell is Wheel Derby. Hawes, hit us with those tables.
Just tables! 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 I can't know how to hear any more about tables!
In the Eastern Conference, we've got Cincinnati in first place with 42 points, Nashville in second with 41 points, Philadelphia in third with 40, your Columbus Crew in fourth with 38, followed up by Orlando with 34, Miami with 32, but they're also 5 games behind everyone else. New York, NYCFC with 31, Red Bull with 30, and Chicago rounding out the playoff picture in ninth with 28 points.
Okay. And then do we have a Cirque stat?
Got some Bobby Puerto Rico.
Bobby Puerto Rico.
Bobby Puerto Rico.
Diego Rossi is the 5th MLS player to record 10-plus goals in back-to-back seasons with multiple clubs. I got to think about that. So he did that. This is his second time recording 10-plus goals twice, and he's done it with 2 clubs. Joining the Columbus Crew alum Jeff Cunningham with Columbus and Dallas. Roy Lassiter, Ante Razov.
Pronunciations brought to you by the idiots of Upper 90 Club.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know that guy. Carlos Ruiz. Did I say that right? Razov?
I think so.
Right.
Something
Ante.
similar to that.
Ante.
Ding.
Rossi had 10-plus goals 3 consecutive years with LAFC in years 18 through 20. Thanks, Rob. Also, I have some important information. I was not listening to anything you said for the beginning of the recap because I was looking into the Queen City designation of Seattle. It sounds like they were dubbed basically at the year of establishment in 1859.
Yeah.
Or I think that's what it was.
Queen City of the
by
Pacific
Portland.
Northwest.
That was no, but
Yeah.
because
Oh,
Portland was
Portland.
established earlier.
Okay.
So, but they redubbed in the mid 90s as the Emerald City.
I went down a whole rabbit hole trying to find out how many Queen Cities were in the United States.
Mm-hmm. I don't
There's-
think I'm not. I think they've shed that. They've shed
I
that
don't-
moniker. We'll be right, Trap.
Hey Columbus, are you looking for a place to get fit but don't know where to start? Pure Strength and Wellness has everything you need to achieve your personal goals. Whether it's focusing on fat reduction, increasing mobility while decreasing pain, or just generalized fitness and stamina, Pure Strength and Wellness provides one-on-one personal training to get you where you need to be. Located at 734 Garden Road in beautiful Clintonville, their 4,000-foot studio is the perfect place to begin your journey. So come on in and speak to a qualified trainer to find out which is the best fitness package for you.
All right, we're back. We're
It's
back.
pretty funny.
You guys see any good movies recently? We were just talking about Eurovision during the break. I watched at least the first half hour or so of the Minecraft movie.
Oh, I've seen that.
I had to shut
Chicken. No,
yeah.
no.
the first like 10 minutes of that movie are so intense and high, like just high intensity, high laughs per minute. I was like, how are they going to keep this up? Like Jack Black is sweating in minute 2.
Doesn't take much for him to get.
He is like the kids were just kind of like slack jawed, like what is going on here? Lauren said something like, he does a lot of acting with his face. It was just like, it was so much, man. It was very funny. I haven't finished it yet.
The kids hadn't seen it before, but they've seen the clip with that lava chicken or whatever so many times. So when that came on, we had like a gathering of kids in our house a few weeks back, and they were all singing that stupid song.
Yes.
Even though it's the first time they actually watched the movie.
Right.
Did they throw all the food in the room?
No, they don't dare to do that. They have some respect.
That was the thing, right? In the theaters, everyone threw all their food and candy as that song came on.
I didn't.
I thought I saw videos of that. I don't know anything about this.
Steve's Lava Chicken. Yep.
I didn't see that, but our kids knew the song before seeing the movie. Also, Haz, you wearing a tank top right now? Have you always?
Yep.
Have you been wearing that this whole time?
Yeah.
No, he just ripped his sleeves off.
I thought it was a striped shirt.
It's one of those heart rate bras.
Looks like
it's made famous by Cucho.
I thought it was a Newcastle jersey.
Is that Juventus? That's weird.
Yeah,
it's a weird shade of white.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, he's a pale man. He's a pale man. Let's do our thoughts and players.
Thoughts and players.
Let's start with Gazdag. I noticed I'm not saying gas dog anymore. Does that mean the honeymoon has worn off? I heard them say something like 12, 13 matches. We know he has 1 assist. I heard earlier we said that he's drawing defenders and creating opportunities in that way. I've been less annoyed by him in the last 2-3 games. He had some good looks against whoever we played last. What do you think? Discuss.
Okay. So here's my abstract thought on this. Mark, you drive a Prius. I drive a Prius. I like my Prius.
Oh, I don't.
But I get sick of telling everybody how much I like my Prius because I hate driving a Prius. That's how I feel about Gas Dog. I'm kind of getting sick of like telling everybody he'll come good.
You want a gas hog? Is that what he's saying? Not a Prius?
No,
Nice.
I'm just talking like I'm kind of sick of like trying to convince myself that this man is actually going to score a goal. Let it be got multiple goals. You know, yeah, I get 47 miles a gallon. Yeah, my car's pretty sweet. It's a momentum car. I can say all these cool things about this fun little car that I drive.
I drive a momentum car.
Yeah.
I've never said that.
I drive
really?
with momentum.
I drive with momentum.
What year is your Prius, Trey?
15.
15. Okay.
Yeah, it's and even better, it's the Personas series, which is like the top level trim. Got leather. All the fun stuff.
I drove an 05 for a really long time. Too long, in fact. Too long.
They are momentum cars.
I got one of the new ones. Do not recommend. And I'm starting to feel the same way about this gas dog fella.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm saying. Like,
let me put it like this: if you have,
you drive a Prius too?
No, I do. Hell no, I have a V6
you
in
make
one of
good
them
choices in
and
life.
then have an electrical in the other one. So there we go. I like something that moves.
It's not a momentum car kind
Yeah,
of
no,
guy.
I don't need momentum. I create momentum.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
So
Thanks, Einstein.
in the middle area there in the midfield, I mean, Gasdog is more forward, but who would you take out of the team, Chambo or Gasdog?
Shambo.
Gazdog. Taking him out?
Yeah, if you had to pick one of them to play, let me put it that way.
I would pick Shambo to play.
Chambo is more important. He's more important for our team right now.
We're talking about different positions, though.
I know, and yes and no, because Gasdog has dropped in towards the midfield quite a bit. He drops in that space a lot, and I think he does that to try to get the ball more too.
Okay,
Chambos as the Sawatsky replacement next to Nagby. Is that what we were talking about? Okay.
No,
yes, my point. My point.
But then, are you putting in for Gasdog up top?
No. That's not my point. My point is the fact that
Your
one
point is not valid.
a point is one we're paying like $700,000, and one is a DP that should be a difference maker, and that's where the problem is. He's a solid player. He's not the DP status. He's not worth his DP status, and we have hit pretty well with DPs. We have to look around the league and look at a lot of people that are DPs that are not performing, and he's not performing horribly. He's just not performing to the level that we are expecting. I think still that we all know this kind of when it comes to that he's not the one that's going to draw the kind of attention that Kucha did. We talked about this before, that we need somebody that's like, okay, this guy makes me a little nervous. Okay, we're coming off the bench or he's a starter. We have to keep an extra eye on that. Ross is not quite that either. Even though he gets a lot of goals and he's involved a lot, he's not he's not going to carry the whole team on his shoulder and make things happen, kind of like Kucha did. And that's still what we need. And I never thought Gasdog was that from the start. I thought he was one of the ones that's going to be the 3 DPs that we have, and then there's going to be him, and there's going to be one, signature signing. No pun. But that's what we're still lacking. And they kept hitting on that as 12. I have to agree with 12man there, and I hate myself for saying that. But they're talking about they still need that number 9, and I think Gasdog will benefit from having that other focal point, I guess it's called.
What was his? I mean, I know he was like the top goal scorer in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Was he playing a striker position or was he in the midfield? Like he was kind of like a Cucho type.
He played
full range player, right? In Philly,
like a 9.
I'm gonna make this comparison again, and I'm still sticking to it. To me, he was more of a Christian Ramirez player. He isn't Cucho. He's not a killer instinct, gonna score the goal from wherever and try. He's that opportunistic player. He's gonna get in the right positions. He's the poacher. He's the one that does the right things. He's in the right position, and he's the glue to the other 2 that are playing. He's not that right now. He's not that for Columbus, but that's what he was for Philly.
I will say 2 things though. One is obviously confidence, the fact that he hasn't scored. Right. And 12man said that also too. Had that been gassed to Philadelphia, he would hit that first time and probably gotten on target.
That was a nice ball through to him too.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like now, the last couple of days, he's gelling more with the way he doesn't look like the round peg in a square hole kind of situation. He looks like he's playing, understanding how the team works, and playing his part of the team much more than he did.
He has
a couple of weeks ago.
He has looked better. Yeah.
He fits in with the team, and I think when Nancy is going to judge this, it's going to be like, are we working better as a team with him in the team? Kind of like the Rossi discussion we had 2 years ago, right?
Yes.
And I think it's a little bit like that. So now he starts fitting in. He benefits the team, but the end product is not there. And I still think that is also we need that extra number 9 that is better than.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that statement. The one thing that I'm really wondering at this point is if the front office, if Isatal is going to be bringing in another DP, another guy up top to score, because I agree with you. He's fitting into this team, and this team does look good. Does bringing somebody else in unlock him even more, takes the pressure off even more, and allows him to just to play without the pressure of scoring goals. I think if Issa brings somebody in, I think you're 100% correct. If he doesn't, I'm a little concerned.
You do need another strike, even if it is not. They end up not signing another DP. You'd need another number 9 because the only true number 9 we have now is Russell Rowe, right?
Right.
And we don't have an alternative.
Well,
So-
with Gazdog, didn't we expect him to be getting something like $4 million, give or take, as his compensation at the
No,
time when he got signed and then
he got
immediately
signed.
re-signed?
Yeah, but he's making
Somewhere in that
2.3, isn't it?
He's making $2 million base salary and 2.597 guaranteed compensation. So, I mean, we have the budget for another DP. We have the DP slot.
Right. Right.
But
and that opens at the end of the month, right?
Yeah. But
did you know that there's a Gazdov in the league? That threw me off reading through this list.
But then again, going back to the game, Rossi, solid game. I would say that there was some exciting moments in the first half of this game. The second half was kind of a snooze fest to a degree until the very end where we thought we might, after the red card, we're like, okay, we might have a chance to get a goal.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like anybody was playing bad. I'm looking at like Footmob and things. Savatsky, man, that man is so incredibly important for our team again. Just solid. Farsi, not his best game. Morera strong. Shaburka, not very good. Aliyu, mixed bag, right? I think he was really good on the goal, but there was other times where he didn't really provide much of anything. It was. I say they were talking about going to Lumen Field. It's hard to get 3 points there. It's one of the hardest places in the league over the X number of years to go get points.
They said they only lost once this season.
Yeah. So
does it have to do with the terrible field they're playing on?
Well, that doesn't help. But they are a boring team. I can tell you, like, watching Seattle games, and like I know they usually have a pretty good following and all that, but they play a very pragmatic, boring soccer to me.
You know what I did?
They play
which is hard to break down, and that was kind of the whole thing.
I don't. Right? Probably this is well known among MLS fans. I kind of am focused on the crew and am less aware of what's going on around the league, just year over year. But did you know that Schmetzer is only their second coach after Schmidt?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is insane.
It's been for 10 years, I think.
No. Well, yes, but before that, he was the coach when they were in the USL or NASL, whatever first division league they were in, for like 10 years. And then Siggy came in and he was assistant. And then after Siggy left,
Schmetzer was right in 2009,
wow.
right? Because he went the year
that
Seattle went to MLS the year after we won MLS Cup, and Siggy left, went to Seattle. You're saying, Schmetzer went to assistant, and he's been their only other coach.
Right,
that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah,
100%.
Hey,
I mean, it's awesome. I personally, I love it. I love that they have a style, that they are what they are, and they play how they play. And
I mean, it works. I mean, they have 4 MLS Cups and 2 MLS like finals and 2 cups, right? The 4 MLS finals and 2 cups. Is that right?
Yeah.
But he played for the Sounders in 1980 through 1983. He played on the indoor team for the Sounders.
Wow.
And then he was
found on the street outside the stadium when he was born.
He was back on the Sounders again in 94
like
and the
orphan.
Seattle Sea Dogs in 95.
That's nuts.
This man has never left Washington.
He was born and he was placed in a basket in Portland, and he just float up to the Queen City and picked up, and he's lived his whole life like
mean,
Moses.
They know what they're doing. It's a very well-run organization. One thing I want to point out, like from the thoughts on player at the end here, is the fact that when it comes to the subs, we brought in Sejic, AZ, and Brown. They brought in Jordan Morris, Della Vega, and Ryan Kent, the next Rangers player. So the depth in the squad, I know we have a couple of injuries. We will get a couple of people back, but their bench is definitely deeper.
Our bench is like mostly crew too.
I have to see. It was like
the Browns and the Ruvalcaba and
Prestis was called up for the game.
Prestis, I saw. Yeah,
Roca.
Yeah,
Taha.
Yeah,
Ruvalcaba.
Yeah. So there is some strengthening of the squad.
But as you said, when that red card came out, I was watching it with a couple of my kids who don't often watch, but I'm trying to explain like, oh, it's a game now. We got 5 minutes to steal one. I thought that set piece at the end was going to be the last kick of the game, but there was really more time because they had the red card and everything. Like there could have been another corner. I mean, there was more game to play in this thing.
They would have had 2 more chances. I think.
At least one. And it is what it is, right?
What do we chant? Bag him, tag him.
No.
The field.
There's certain difference there. Like I was seriously I was worried.
It looked bad. I mean, you immediately saw
trip?
him. No,
he kind of goes forward.
His head hit.
Well,
he fell into the
knees.
He dove thinking he was going to like punch the ball or get the ball, and it got cleared by his defense. So there was just no ball there, and he collided. And then, I don't know if he was like if he lost consciousness.
Yeah.
He didn't.
He was out cold.
Yeah,
he was out cold.
Oh yeah, he was.
His body was like locked up.
His body was posturing in a I just got knocked out position.
Well, Twellman knows what he's talking about when it comes to being knocked out. I mean, that's what retired him, right? So he knows the deal. He was talking about it quite a bit, but yeah, he fell in, and it was then I was more concerned about his neck because he saw how he hit. It was like it was going sideways, and poor Sejic was truly upset. And by the way, he came in and then played another very strong 10 minutes. By the way, I like this kid.
He's growing into that role for sure.
Yeah. Ben, I will take him over Taha right now.
And you're not here to defend it.
Yes. Brown too.
I say we should just trade Taha.
We should also just mention. We should mention. This was what the 4th straight start for Bush.
Mm-hmm.
4th or
third
5th?
or 4th, third or yeah.
Well, anyway, he did great. Ben's note here is Bush starts for the U.S. men's national team. I don't know. I mean, so the U.S. men's national team does have a history of starting aging keepers. I'm thinking of Tim Howard and Brad Guzan.
Usually, they have more on their resume than third string keeper to the Columbus Crew. Not any shade being thrown at Bush, but
I will note to the
Casey Keller, another.
I want to note to the listener that the entire time we've been following the Gold Cup, Ben has been writing in every game that Bush is better than what is it, Freeze?
It's all he talks about. He sends it in every text thread. Everybody listening, please.
You guys you've heard of long COVID. Ben has long strep, I think is what we're calling. He's suffering. He's suffering.
In just general, he's suffering.
We have a GoFundMe started So check that out.
It's
Bush
called
is doing good.
Make Ben Great Again.
Bush is doing good. I don't know if he's starting for the U.S. men's national team. I think you gotta be from New Jersey for that. But let's
Related to somebody.
Yeah, you gotta know somebody. Okay, bada bing. Let's read the internet. Okay, so we were talking about Frey.
I think it's Fry.
Stephen Fry. Stefan Fry.
Stefan Frey.
He posted on Blue Sky, still trying to figure out what happened at the end of the game. Winking, tongue out, silly face. So, like, I don't know about that.
Say it like you don't use it.
Yeah.
Well, he might be feeling it still. So
Yeah.
we give him that.
But I'm incredibly grateful to all the staff that looked after me and happy to be back home resting now. What resonates is all the messages, calls, and love I've received from so many of you. We also saw the clip of Schmetzer in the presser thanking Nancy for agreeing to put a fork in that game.
Bringing him almost to tears.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed it was like the right thing to do. You'd have we all know, Nancy teaches us to be better men, but like I think a much lesser man would have been fine calling that game at that moment. Like it's just like, okay, what are we talking about here? So I think it was the right call to.
It was 7 minutes of stoppage.
Right.
Call it.
Right.
Yeah. Pop quiz. No. Who's older? Avon Bush or Stefan Fry? Without cheating.
It's got to be Fry.
No, Stefan Bush.
They're born the same year.
Stefan Bush.
Bush was born March 6th, and Fry was born on 4/20.
Wow.
March 6th. Wow.
I'm doing the math.
Bush is like more than a month older.
Yeah.
Gray Bush.
Now, it was also, I checked out that post, and the amount of love he got from both Crew fans and even Portland fan was pretty cool.
No, I mean, yeah, you don't want to see anybody knocked forever, out.
Right?
Yeah, he's been there for... he's played... I think they put down the wrong number in some of their notes, but he played like 300
That's because
games.
he wrote him after the game.
Probably.
I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke.
He's played like 300 games or something for them, I think, so it's quite a bit.
411.
411. 300 some. I'm rounded it down.
Wow, I didn't realize he was Swiss.
Oh, yeah, I knew that part.
Well, maybe you should have shared it with us.
You should have Swiss cowed that.
That reminds me, I'm going to go off script here. I saw something on. I'm going.
When are we on script?
Well, we have Ben takes the time to do the outline. I'm not going to be able to pull this up. Did you see that Nagby entered the top 10 most games? Did you see that graphic?
Yep.
Yes.
No,
and I have it.
missed that.
Okay, so I saw that last night. The unfortunate thing is that I saw it and I don't have it in front of me.
10th most appearances in Crew history.
You have it.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Chad Marshall's number one on that list.
Okay. So yeah. Anything else you want to ruin from what we're going to talk about here?
No.
Well, so there were some surprising people on the list. Like speaking of people, Pipa. I was surprised. Like, how many years did he play with the club? Because he was like number 5 or 6. Hawes, you have it. It looks like you have it pulled up.
193 appearances.
Okay, so Nagby just hit what?
165.
165. Okay, so he's number 10.
And that's his third club. Yeah.
It's his third club. He was with Portland, Atlanta,
and Columbus.
Yeah.
Okay, but like Nagby's been with the Crew since what, 19, 20?
20.
20, yeah.
Okay, so
19,
that's
20.
but that's like 5 or 6 seasons.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
How many seasons was Higuain on the team?
7, 12 to 19.
Yeah, so they're consistent, just like him. That was one of the great things. Pippa played like every game. He didn't really have a whole lot of injuries. Knock on wood, Nagby's been the same way. He's there like pretty much every week.
Yeah, well, because we talk about it when he does it. Like it was, after he set the like most games, whatever last year. He had a week off, right? Like when we played RSL with our 100% Crew 2 team or whatever. After we had the diarrhea, Classico down in Pachuca. Yeah.
Well, it also makes a difference, the success of the team as well. I mean, it's not like we play a ton of playoff games in the MLS Cup, but Nagby is definitely playing. I mean, you're talking 2020, you're talking 2023, you're talking about long playoff runs. He's adding an extra 10 to 12 games that Pipa didn't have. I mean, Pipa
15.
didn't ever play. No, he didn't ever play in a championship game.
Well, but all the way up to that point, we can acknowledge or not acknowledge that's only one game difference. But yes, that was a long run in 2015. So, and then who else? So go through that list because
I don't want to mention all the names.
Marshall had 253 appearances in first. Do we want to guess at other ones, or are people looking at this as well?
Rattle it off.
Mike Clark had 221.
Mike Clark.
Your boy, my boy, Eddie Gavin.
Yep.
209. Tracy's boy, Justin Miram, 206. Jeff Cunningham with 203. Higuain with 193. Will Trapp with 185. Josh Williams with 183. Brian, I always mess up his last name.
Masonoff?
Masonoff, yes. Way easier after someone says it. 172 in Darlington with 165.
Maisonov.
Hold on.
Maisonov.
What was number 9? Who was number 9?
Masonoff.
Oh, okay. And then it was Nagby at 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry for the dive bomb there, but I
meant to put that on.
Yeah, I saw it last night, and it's a great accomplishment for Nagby. I mean, we talk. I just think about like when we had Morgan on a few weeks ago, and we're like, well, is Chad Marshall really like a Sounders guy? Because I mean, he put up big, cap numbers for Seattle as well.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, he had
but look at this graphic, right? That no player has worn the jersey more than him, and he is likely and should be the next inductee to our Circle of Freedom Forever honor
ring.
Yeah,
whatever.
As Defender of the Year and as a winner of MLS Cup in 2008 and most capped player for the team. It's a no-brainer, but
in 4 years we might get the next one.
Well, and Marshall had 186 appearances for Seattle, and FOTMOB gives him 272 with an asterisk. Number of goals in matches before 2006 may be inaccurate in some cases.
Yeah.
So
272 on there.
Going off the Wikipedia, which is the 253, and he played for the Crew for 9 years, 04 to 13. You're looking at, I mean, he played 28 games a year for the Crew. I mean, that's impressive.
That is
back
sick.
when the league was not nearly as big. So he did have U.S. Open Cup, but he didn't have Leagues Cup. He didn't have CONCACAF Champions Cup. I mean, there were different iterations of things, but they weren't what we have now where, Nagby and Cucho and these guys are going deep in tournaments. Chad was a part of, a U.S. Open Cup win, a MLS Cup win.
So, Shield,
God bless the guy. He should be in the Ring of Honor.
I think he's a lock as the next one.
But to the point, though,
he's only 40.
Yeah, but to the point with Nagby, the fact that
he's younger than Evan Bush.
He's younger than Bush, but like in that many years, then that tells you how many games he must go through a year and also stay injury free and be there every week, which is impressive.
Yeah.
And being one of the most fouled players.
Yeah. The
Nagby.
most foul player.
Nagby.
Yeah. Okay.
Impressive.
Let's talk about Brianna McKay's skeet today. She said, I can confirm that the crew are finalizing a deal for Hugo Picard from French
Hugo.
League 2 Guingamp. We were tracking this a week ago or 2 weeks ago, right? He was like in attendance at one of our games recently.
The Philly 1-0 game.
The Philly game. Okay. So he's young, right?
22.
So he's going to check that U22 initiative box. He's a left winger. Is that right?
He is small. Like, think Matan.
Okay. Is he a little dribbly boy?
I don't know. Could be. 5'6", 150.
And I want to say he had played over the last 2 years. I looked at this. I think he played over 40 games. At 22, he already played probably about 100 games in League 2. So, I mean, he at 22, he comes in with a lot of experience for a pretty, I mean, they didn't obviously move up this year, but they were in qualification and didn't make it. So, I mean, you're talking about somebody that can make an impact if you see Chambeau, right? He was come from League 2, helping them qualify, but didn't go up with them and came here. I mean, this can be great. But we know what's the suspicion here. He's a left wing kind of type of player.
Arston, Aliou.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arston has looked good in some people's opinions. Played well for the U.S. A lot of eyes have been on him recently. And this would only be our second U22 slot, and we can have up to, I guess it depends which.
It depends on how you use your DP spots. Yeah.
But nonetheless, those spots should be filled. The maximum amount of them you should have the U22 spots filled. So I like the fact that they're filling that. And yeah, if we got eyes on players that could be headed out at some point in the future, nice to have somebody there already on the team ready to back them up.
With regards to the U22, it's a no-brainer, right? Like, why are you... It's like having... I'm just thinking of like in fantasy, like why would you not fill out the bench with like these free, like bonus incentivized spots where like, it seems like someone's reading the rule book, right? Like, because this seems like a way that like the teams that are filling these spots are the teams that are, doing the money ball, reading the, taking advantage of the small incremental advantages that you can benefit from within this league. And as a mid-market team, we have to be doing that kind of thing. So you're
building for the future.
Yeah.
And you're building for future because there's something like in the transition and how it counts further on and things like that. It will benefit you in the long run. But you can only have so many before you're risking not having that third DP. So remember we talked about this. There's a combination. I can't remember how many you can have before you kind of lose that 3 DPs. So yeah.
Okay. Well, so
it's something.
He probably
it's not a DP.
So he'll come. So they're finalizing a deal, and then he'll be eligible when the window opens.
July 24th.
Okay. All right. And
3 weeks. There we go.
Okay. And I think we've reached the end of the internet. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Do you guys really think we're going to sell Max?
I mean, we had offers on him already. And I don't think this hurt. But we also rejected a pretty good offer.
Right.
So it's hard to sell. Not hard to say. But
I I think having some depth is a good thing. And maybe it's not a this year thing, but he's a rising star, and he's probably he's not going to be here forever. And so
there's a season after this too, right?
I just think if we sell him in this window, we're selling ourselves short.
I'd agree with that.
I agree.
Like we should hold on to him till the end of the year, ride it through the playoffs, ride it through whatever else, and he's going to be worth whatever he's going to be worth. He's probably going to get called into the September camp.
Yep.
For the U.S. team.
Yes.
He's only gotten better under Nancy.
Right. So I see no value in selling him in July. He can only benefit this team going forward. I'm just hoping that that's the choice that we make and don't sell him short.
If we sell him now, then I will also expect that we're not getting a DP and we're pretty much writing off this season. Which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
which would be
there's
nuts.
No reason
That'd
to
be
do
nuts.
that at this stage. I mean, we coasted. We got lucky those first, say, 8 games of this season where we had a skeleton crew and were able to put the wins up that we needed to be in the position we're in now. Right? Like we dropped every game in May or whatever it was. But like before May and after May, we've done well. It would be foolish to write this season off. There's no reason to do that. We're just as high as we were in 2023, and we had the Rossi signing and the Zelarayan trade right before the late August Hell is Real game that I think was in Columbus after that first inaugural Leagues Cup that was won by Miami. But and then it was all wins. We just won forever in 2023.
Four more games until Leagues Cup start, and this is where I expect. Then when the window is open, that's when I expect if something's going to happen, it's going to happen there. So they have the Leagues Cup to use.
We need the depth.
Yeah,
and it seems like it would be premature evaluation by Issa Tall to get rid of him before the end of this year.
Well played.
Yeah,
nobody likes that premature evaluations.
Yeah, this isn't a time to shoot your shot.
No.
Like hold on to him. Just keep him where he needs to be. We need the depth. We need him out on the edge, being able to provide goals where we're not currently getting them. And at the end of the year, he's going to come good. It will happen. He's going to score goals. He'll push into the playoffs and just, he's going to be worth more at the end. It will be worth it.
And Aliu's come in. I think no one expected much of that, filling in on the, more depth on that same side.
Yeah.
So
are we still talking about the crew, guys? Kona. We'll be right back.
Hello, Adam Hernandez here, fellow crew fan and Columbus-based artist, muralist, and designer. When I'm not making art, I'm looking at art. And when I'm looking at art, I want it to come to life. That's why I made my new augmented reality prints. What's an augmented reality print, you may ask? Well, I make my really cool psychedelic art come to life in the palm of your hand. Check out my website, ahernandezart.com, or at ahernandezart to learn more. They're really rad. ahernandezart.
Cappy report. Hey everyone, thanks for having me again. Happy to be here and talk about how the Cappies, the Crew 2, did on their best game. Unfortunately, as it's the case for most of this season, they lost. They lost at home this time, 2-1 for the New England Revolution 2. And it was a game that they played fairly well. They had 62% of possession and 14 total shots, with 5 of those being on goal. But the Revs were able to open the score early in the second half with a really good show of individual skill. Chase Adams, who was a second half sub, got our goal at the 85th minute. But then again, another good bit of skill individual for one of the Revs player. around the second minute of extra time meant that they got the win. And at this point, I'm just hoping that the mentality of the players on this team, and it's so important to talk about their development, is going well, because it's been a rough season, man. You know, like we're in the bottom of the East. I'm not really sure if the bottom of the league overall. Results just are not going their way. This is a game where they played well. I thought the team looked a lot more cohesive. It's really nice to have Gio de Libera back in the midfield. He seems to be that key component that was missing in connecting the ball from the defense to the attack, and he did so. It was really, really cool to see Kevin Bemble debut with the Cappies. He is a guy that we brought from an academy team from the Ivory Coast. He's a winger. He looked electric. He's extremely fast. It was his pressure on the ball that led to a bad giveaway from the New England players to set chase for the goal. And I'm very excited to see what more he can do. He's been with the team since the beginning of the year, and I'm not really sure why he hasn't played, but I'm really glad that he's with us now. And yeah, it's, again, I think that at this point in the season, we're just trying to remind ourselves that it's a development league, and that it's the most important things that these guys are furthering their career and their ability to play. And I think that that is happening, and hope that the results will follow. And as always, thank you very much for having me. Hope everyone had a good holiday weekend, and looking forward to the next game. See ya.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Bird. You guys remember Ace Ventura? He does that.
I don't remember.
Okay. He's got a, yeah, that's more like it. Yeah. So, Crew 2, they're having a tough time.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully,
they're young.
Yeah, and I saw someone talking about job security for Higuain and Josh Williams. Hopefully, they've got the vision to keep those guys around. I don't know.
They're literally playing with academy players. I mean, like they did a whole clear out last year of that squad. So
well, half of their team is riding the bench for the first team too.
That is a little bit concerned, but we saw Brown play at least.
A few minutes.
Week.
A few minutes.
I like what I see from him. I would say that.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of birds, so remember that movie Birds we were talking about a few weeks ago?
Like Hitchcock?
No, Rio. Rio, which wasn't Disney. Actually, I think it is Disney. But
it is.
Pixar. I corrected you. There was 22nd Century Fox.
No, you know what? You're right. So let me tell you.
Is it 22nd Century Fox? I made that up. 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, that's how English works. But go ahead.
Yeah. My kids reached the end of the Disney app for the Disney movies. And I kind of intervened over the weekend, like, all right, guys, I'll just put something on for you. And I saw Rio 2 was available. Rio 1 was not available. But I put on Rio 2, and they rose up in a mutiny and made me turn it off. So I don't know.
It was that good.
It was that good. Yeah. Jesse Eisenberg, Anne Hathaway. I don't know. They made it like 10 minutes in. They took the remote back. But that's my report on Birds. We'll have to watch Rio, and then I'll let you know if it was
Rio.
Yeah. Rio.
So now we have 2 movie nights. We have Home Alone 3, and we have Rio 2. Okay.
We got to finish the Minecraft movie. Okay. Let's do our rundown.
Yeah, it's a rundown. We're coming to town. It's a rundown. Okay. What we're going to do is a rundown. Down, rundown.
All right, so you guys didn't know how to log our miles last week. So we'll just say that we spent the week in Beijing. Reminder, our run club, our weekly goal is 1,996 miles. We've been hovering around the 1,200 mile range for the last several weeks, which is great. And we're using those miles to travel the globe. So from Beijing, our let's see, how many members do we have now? We have 113 members.
Ooh, that's up.
We last week we ran, let's see, 1,260 miles from Beijing, which included a stretch of water running to Taipei in Taiwan.
Oh,
we're not going to get into any political discussion, but we are moving our way out of China.
Are we going to do island hopping, going back, or what?
We're in China. We're out of China.
Taiwan.
I
honestly, Philippines. Philippines. I
this
think
is
we
where
can
we're
make it
headed.
south.
This is where we're headed. Yes, we're headed to the Philippines. I'd love to get down to.
We could have gone to Japan. Beautiful.
Australia. New Zealand is not really on the way. I'm going to be honest.
No. Papua New Guinea. That would be good.
Papua New Guinea, Mama New Guinea, all
Mr.
the New Guineas. we're gonna make our way around there. So we'll be continent hopping. So I'm glad to be back. I was sorry to have missed the rundown last week. Last week's leaders, let's see, Chase, Hawes's cousin-in-law, put up 71 miles.
Good job, Chase.
My next door neighbor, Tom.
Tom.
If he gets first one week, I'm going to open the window when I really hammer it home. He put up 54 miles. Kevin T at 53. Summer Kellogg at 52. Nelly at 52. Our fearless leader and president on this fine weekend of freedom put up 50 miles.
She's ramping it up again. Working it up again.
When is the next 100-mile ultra?
Burning River is in a few weeks, I think.
A few more weeks. Okay.
I'm not sure. I try not to think about it.
Okay. 50 miles she put up this week. Michaela. I haven't seen Michaela up here. Good to see you, Michaela. 41 and a half. My sister Mindy at 38 and change. John A at 37 and Paco 37.
Mars, can you do us a favor and put up more miles?
Just get there
so
already.
Run more. Like, can you put on like more miles so we can work?
Was
our
it
way
too
up the
hot?
list? Yeah, it's too hot out there.
Yes,
ankle hurt?
that's why I did 0 miles.
Oh, I did 3 miles and almost died.
I did a couple miles. It was
Let's see
really
who won the
I went
club.
out at like 7.
Let's see who won.
Let's
See, it was.
Guess we're still in Taiwan.
It was Ben.
All right, Ben.
What?
But yet he's too sick to show up.
Ben.
Wait.
Much.
I don't
ran
think
too
you
much
can
in
win
that
the club if you're not here. I don't think you can win the club if you're not here.
Ben won it with 9.696. 9.6 miles.
He forgot to turn off his watch while they loaded him into the ambulance.
Yeah. Well, Morton, you
turned it on.
You're in second. You're right behind him at 8.5 miles.
8.5 miles?
Yeah.
No. Oh, wow.
I don't think
That's what it says.
I probably had like 5.
Nice.
Let's see, Trey, you were at 4.5. Haas,
Yeah, 4.5.
you had 3.
It was probably 0.
It was too hot.
Asta
it was just too hot.
was at the bottom of the club table this week at 2 miles.
Okay. I don't mean to question our direction of travel, but what's your goal here? Where are we going? Because
I'm trying.
You should be
I'd
taking
like to
us
get
west.
I'd like to get 7 continents. So
okay,
we're
so
traveling.
we're going south to go west. I gotcha.
Trey, we were on the mainland, and you kept yelling, "Get out of China!"
Mm-hmm.
On the brakes.
You did.
Yeah,
so we jumped over to an island.
This was the closest way. No, but we want to go down. We want to hit Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our chance.
I'm fine with the Aussies.
This is our chance.
I'm good with the Aussies. The Aussies are wonderful. Lots of spiders, big sharks.
So you didn't
like
ask,
the Pet Shop
but I'll
Boys.
tell
You want to go west.
You didn't ask, but I'll tell you. I am injured. That is why I'm not running.
So emotionally.
No,
physically?
I have a wound on my foot, so I basically can't even walk. I'm
take care of that.
I'm working on that, and hopefully I will be back in my rightful place in short order. But until then, I'm just like limping all around. So I'm on like day 8 of antibiotics, and I have not seen any improvement. So
dog bite?
Yeah. I tried to pet that dog. Pet that dog. Okay. Let's see. So we need to talk about our predict picks.
Last week, nobody really could predict the kind of snooze fest that we were witnessing. This week, there was a record high of 2-1 wins for Columbus, which potentially could have happened not for Stephen Fry starting the dark arts of soccer to like drag out the time at the end of the game.
That was the best fake out I've ever seen.
It was the best fake out to just kill off the game. Oh, we got a red card. I'm just going to go down and I'm going to lay down and I'm just going to do the whole thing.
WWE style.
Okay. I respect him even more.
Not funny.
Speaking of respect and lack of, Ben got 1 point for a 2-2 prediction in this game. So that means that Ben added 1 point. The rest of us is in the same position. 2-1 bot in the lead with 27 points. Hotspot in second place with 20 points. I'm still in third with 17 points. Ben with 12. Mars in the basement with 8. And Trey got 16 points.
And listener fan participation wise, we had 3 correct score predictions.
Ooh.
Keith Nas on Blue Sky, Harry Duke of Sus on Blue Sky.
Sounds sus.
And our first listener to get to 2 correct score predictions in this session, Inui.
Oh, shocker.
Good job,
wow.
Eric.
Man, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
really
keep an eye on
it's
this
still a lot of people still have a good chance to win the pint classes.
Great.
Or whatever else I make.
It's going to be pint glasses, right?
Yes, it's going to be pint glasses.
We've been
This
saying
round.
pint glasses for a while.
I've been
We're not going to
posting
go
pint
and
glasses.
like send them like poker chips or something.
Yeah, sorry again for the lack of predict picks this week. I was 4th of July.
All good.
Okay, so how has Cincinnati been doing? They're up toward the top, right? Are they just above us in the East?
The top in the East.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, don't answer this, but just it feels like we keep playing the top of the East. Like, how many times have we played the top of the East this season? Like, weren't Cincinnati in first place in the East when we played them last time? And also Philadelphia, and maybe even Philadelphia when we played them the first time. I don't know.
They are top of the supporter shield by 1 point.
Cincinnati
over Nashville.
is.
Cincinnati is.
Oh, no.
And Nashville's 1 point over Philly. And then we got the West Coast jumping in with San Diego with 39, Vancouver with 38, and then the Crew with 38.
So what's their run of form? Like, are they still winning every game 1-0 or by 1 goal? What's the deal?
So they lost against DC like 5 weeks ago. After that, they went on the road for 3 games because of the games in the Club World Cup. So they played 3 away games and won them all. on the road at New England, Montreal, and Orlando, and then the one home against Chicago this weekend. So it's not totally different actually to our form, except for we have a tie in that last game away to Seattle.
Yeah.
And we played all of our
Those
games
road
at
games
home.
though were pretty. I mean, Orlando, maybe they're
Orlando's a good team, and
but like
yeah.
Montreal and New England,
Still away games, man. It's but they lost at home to DC a few weeks back, so keep that in mind.
Okay. All right. Well, are you ready to do your predictions? All right, let's talk about D's next
I don't know.
games.
I thought I
You got to think about that.
I'm already sweating.
Man, I don't even know. Like, buckle up, Buttercup.
My tongue is sweating.
I'm not good at doing
You're dumb.
Ben, you said we didn't hear from Ben. Mort, you said Cincy 2-3 crew. Max is back. It's gonna be nuts.
Oh yeah.
Anything to add to that?
Nope.
Okay.
Said it all. It's gonna be crazy.
Trey, you said Columbus goes down to Cincinnati and tickles the lion in his lair at TQL Stadium and comes away with a 1-2 victory.
Oh my God! So everything here is the 2-1 bot.
So you think it's 2-1. Haas, you also said 1-2 crew. Shame on you, Cincinnati.
Yes.
Queen City.
I
wanted to say 1-3, but I said that for the last one. I was wrong.
I said 2-2 only to secure my ticket for Hosmus Cruisemas next year.
Hosmus and Christmas.
Hosmus.
I'd love you to have it on for
Hosmus? You think I can make a Hosmus a little dip in for Hosmus? I would love that. I'll sneak away. I'll do a little Hosmus sneak away.
I would love that.
Let me see if I can do that. I'll pop out of a birthday cake for you.
I've been there at 2.
I'll buy the cake.
All right. I gotta ask.
Tradition for me now.
Gotta ask
after
my
2
home
years.
boss. Okay, I'll be there. I'm committing now, with no ability to do so alone. Okay.
If you commit, I'll commit.
All right.
I've never made to a Hosmus. I'm scared.
You've never been to a Hosmus?
I haven't.
No,
I haven't.
that's what Hosmus was the thing where I learned about infrastructure from Bryce.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Does Bryce come?
Oh yeah.
More than once.
He has a few times.
At least 7. Okay, so let's.
Can he come this year?
Dude. I have an important
If your dad's
announcement.
there,
2-1 bot is back from my AI brain.
Oh.
None of that sunshine and rainbows stuff we had last week.
Kucher is probably still playing though.
Probably. Well, I haven't actually read what 2-1 bot has to say. 2-1 bot says the Columbus Crew will edge out FC Cincinnati 2-1 in a fiery Hell is Real derby fueled by their dynamic midfield and relentless pressing. So far, so good. Despite Cincinnati's strong season, their defensive vulnerabilities and key injuries will leave just enough space for the Crew to capitalize. In front of a roaring crowd, Columbus will remind their rivals why the wooden spoon days are... 2-1 bot didn't understand my prompt. Cincinnati has a lot of wooden spoons. Want a match day poster or social media caption to go with this prediction? Anyone? Co-pilot's asking me a question. In front of a roaring crowd, Columbus will remind their rivals why they are the true owners of the wooden spoon. Thank you, 2-1 bot. Okay. Well, so is anyone making the trip down? 71?
I went down already. I'm not going.
Oh yeah, you went down for the Dortmund. Yeah,
I know. This is one game I really want to make. You know, Saturday.
Are you talking yourself into it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
I might have a look.
I haven't
Anybody
been to
coming?
the Tickle.
Have a look-see.
I went pre-Tickle.
To
the
I'll tell you
away
what,
Cincy
Morton.
match.
Find tickets. I'll need at least 2.
I mean, you're halfway down there already. You're closer
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Tickle than you are to Lower.
They can hear the geese honking.
They're called the Queen City Geese.
Mm-hmm.
All the way from Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure it's not easy to get.
They just travel from Seattle to Missouri, Cincinnati, Charlotte.
I'm hoping to catch the match while I'm in Wisconsin.
Right. So you're going to Wisconsin. This is the big week. This is your big week of the year, big boy.
I'll be competing in Cube Nationals on Saturday the 12th.
What's your ranking?
There's no rankings.
No.
It's just a 144 team tournament. Any 144 teams can sign up.
844 teams?
144.
144 teams?
It has to be a multiple of 12. And just think like the movie Dodgeball, Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller, Rip Torn. I could go on.
Duck, dive, dodge.
And dodge, right. This is Cube Nationals it's just Cube. There's no nationals. It's just happened, right? Like it
is the US Nationals tournament.
Okay. So
the official.
Right. But like
and unofficial.
But you're no good, right?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
other
official.
teams there, some travel from overseas are very good. Like
the Norwegians.
Good.
The Norwegians.
Are they
there are Norwegians there
by the competition? Or?
It's like a group stage first, and then elimination stuff starts. So
if you were
just like the U.S. Open Cup, any team could make it.
If you were to take home the glory and lift the cup, the cup. If you were to lift the cup at the end, would you be financially compensated? Would you?
I don't know the answer to that because I've never thought we could get that far.
Okay. So what's the best you've done? 144 teams play.
We have not made it out of the group since I've started playing on the team.
So you're 100 plus.
Did they make it out of the group before you joined the team?
The team only existed 1 year before I joined.
Okay.
And how long did the sport exist before you joined?
Supposedly the Vikings created it. So
good stuff.
Not the Minnesota
like
Vikings.
Never played it. Never heard of it. Never played it.
There's not enough room on the ship to play Cube. Right? You need
the long ships?
Yeah.
There are long
grass
ships.
or sand.
Yeah, but long ship, that'd be like playing soccer on a baseball field.
It's only 8 meters by 5 meters.
See, metric system. You know the Vikings. They were really
Morton,
into
maybe
the
this
metric
will help
system.
you. In Norway, it's known
9.
as kilt casting. Yep. That's what they play in Norway, Mort.
Kilt casting.
Kilt casting.
We don't even like kilt. You meant Scotland?
Kilt casting.
Asking? Kilk asking?
Yeah. Asting. Like Sean Astin-ing. Kilk.
All right. I think we've reached the end. Hawes, I hope you do great. I hope you get first place and lift the cube.
Make us proud.
Will you be back next week?
No.
You won't. All right. Well, we'll catch up
Fly
with
home
you.
Monday.
Okay, we'll catch up with you.
We'll see if I make an appearance Sunday on the pod.
Oh, yeah. We get a little
They'll be like Cleveland Haas.
Yeah, a little northern exposure Haas. I love that. See if you can make it happen. Your audio will be horrible, but
it'll be through
the
AirPods.
content will be worth it.
The content will be worth it.
The last time Morgan was on when I called in from Wisconsin.
Yeah. I don't think that's true, but
That's false.
because he
It's
was on
also
just a few
false.
weeks ago. But that's okay. That's okay.
This is a year ago.
It's okay.
No,
Yeah, he just
No,
he was
Yeah,
just
he was
on
there.
though.
a few weeks ago.
Like 2 weeks
So
ago.
okay, all right. Hey, hell is a wheel, and it just keeps spinning around and around. We're gonna take this first in the East team. We're gonna knock them down a few cubes, and I can't wait to see it. Until then, guys, go Cube.
Go.
We love Cube. Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew! It's the same, and I bet it's the same key. So we'll see. We'll see if Ben.
So what is this song called? Eleanor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
By
great song. The Turtles.
Turtles.
Yeah.
Turtles. Yeah.
Totals.